Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us. My name is Easton Knott, very proud alumnus as well as an admissions officer here at Washington University in St. Louis. So excited to share some information about my school with you today, covering a number of different topics, including admissions and financial aid. But I want to start with the place that we call home, St. Louis. It's so important that we put it in our name. Today, St. Louis is a wonderfully unique and growing city with over 3 million people in the greater metro area. At the same time, it's this wonderfully Midwestern small town, a collection of different neighborhoods that all have their own unique vibe, restaurants, and culture. Our students love to take advantage of so many different parts of St. Louis because of its accessibility. The first place that our students tend to go to is Forest Park, one of the largest urban parks in the country, just over 500 acres larger than Central Park in New York. It is quite literally our front yard. Actually, if I turned around and look out the window, I could probably see it from here. There's so many wonderful things to do in the park. So many of them are free, like our St. Louis Art Museum, Missouri History Museum, the St. Louis Zoo, as well as our St. Louis Science Center. Jogging and bike trails, golf courses, just a number of wonderful things to do on a beautiful day like today. Just to the north of our campus, you'll see the Del Mar Loop, a short 10-minute walk to Del Mar Boulevard from our campus. The Loop is full of unique restaurants, concert venues, boutique shops, wonderful places for our students to enjoy themselves, spend a little time outside of the classroom. The Loop is home to many of our students as well through our Loop Loft program. If you head east from campus to the other side of the park, you'll find the Central West End, cosmopolitan neighborhood here in St. Louis. It's also home to our medical campus. Many of our undergraduate students will spend a lot of time there doing research and shadowing opportunities at our med school. If you keep going all the way east to the Mississippi River, you'll hit downtown St. Louis, home to, of course, the Gateway Arch, as well as our sports teams, St. Louis Cardinals baseball team and St. Louis Blues hockey team. No matter where you're trying to go within the city, our students are able to access it using our public transit system. Our light rail, as well as our bus system, can get you pretty much anywhere that you need to go. And for our students, it's free. Our students will get a U-Pass on their first day of class, where they're able to use either of the 2 train stops on our campus or the 1 bus stop to get out and about in the city. Whether that's heading all the way out to the airport to go home for Thanksgiving, or it's heading downtown to see a hockey game, our students are out and about in St. Louis making the most of it. Now, when they're here on campus, there's so many wonderful things for them to pursue. We at WashU are a medium-sized research institution. What that means is that we have just over 7,100 undergraduate students spread across 5 academic divisions. From largest to smallest, that is our College of Arts and Sciences, which is our liberal arts hub, home to our natural sciences, social sciences, and the humanities. No matter what division our students call home, they will take some classes in arts and sciences before they graduate. Second division is our McKelvey School of Engineering, home to 10 majors and 13 unique minors. McKelvey is home to our largest program at the university, our computer science program, as well as a true hands-on approach to engineering, which comes through in places like our makerspace, a brand new opportunity for students to really get their hands dirty, so to speak. Our middle program is the Olin Business School. Olin is a program that really prides itself on experiential learning through its 8 different majors and 6 minors, as well as being a leader in the country when it comes to entrepreneurship. Our final 2 divisions are our College of Art and College of Architecture. These 2 are paired together in our Sam Fox School of Design and Visual Arts, along with the Kemper Art Museum, which is actually the first art museum west of the Mississippi River. Our College of Art offers both a BFA and a BA option for studio art and design programs. And our College of Architecture, our smallest college here at the university, offers both a Bachelor of Science and a Bachelor of Arts in Architecture. Now, every single one of our programs here is first-year entry, meaning that when you apply to Washington University, you're going to indicate which of these 5 divisions you're primarily interested in. And when you get here as a first-year student, you'll be a business or engineering student from day 1. The other thing that you could put down on that application is an interest in Beyond Boundaries. Beyond Boundaries is a newer program that we have here at the university that focuses on interdisciplinary learning. Students come into the university as an undeclared student. You are not a part of one of the 5 divisions, but you have the ability to take courses that are co-taught by faculty across different disciplines in order to see how their different programs are intertwined. You're doing all this while the pursuit of knowledge based off of a unique problem or question you're trying to solve. No matter who you are coming in at WashU, you're going to have a unique background. We love the fact that our students come from all 50 states across the US, as well as a number of United States territories and over 50 countries. If you add in faculty, staff, and graduate students, our student body and our population here at WashU is made up of over 100 different countries. What that creates is an extremely unique opportunity for our students to live and learn with different people, with a number of lived experiences coming together in and out of the classroom. Our students really thrive on that. They thrive on the ability to learn from others and to grow from each other, and the growing diversity of our campus truly enriches that opportunity. Additionally, because we have students that come from so many different backgrounds, we want to be able to meet them where they are and treat them as the individuals that they are. The late Jim McLeod gave us many things in his time here at WashU. As Dean of Students, he coined the term, getting to know every single student by name and story. It's a philosophy that we take every single day in and out of the classroom. Our faculty members want to make sure they treat you as the individual that you are. The interests that you have, whether they are in or out of the classroom, are important to how you learn. And we want to get to the heart of that. We also want to make sure that you feel supported, that you know that you have people to turn to, again, in and out of the classroom. Your four-year academic advisor is somebody that's going to reach out to you the summer before your first year here on campus to get to know you a little bit better, to talk about some of the courses you may be interested in when you get to campus. Additionally, you'll have advisors for any majors or minors you may declare, somebody in research, study abroad, their career center, and a wide array of peer advising systems as well. One of those peer advisory systems is our Olin Peer Ambassador Program. Alana, a current senior here at WashU in the Olin Business School, was a former president of that program. It allowed her the opportunity to give back to first-year students in Olin to get to know the business school a little bit better, the ins and outs of the courses they should be taking, and how to take advantage of the full experience at WashU. Professor Douglas Flo, a faculty member in our Department of History, is somebody that really takes pride in adjusting his coursework and how he treats day-to-day classes based off of the students that he has in class on a daily basis. He wants to make sure that they're able to engage in the learning environment every single day, and they're able to get the most out of the material that he deeply cares about. That's something that's so critical to every single class that we offer here at WashU. We like to think that we're in the business of knowledge creation, making sure that every single time you're in the classroom, you are engaged and active in the learning environment. That comes through discussion-based learning, project-based learning, and a lot of experiential opportunities in the classroom. Our average class size is 25 students, which allows you a lot of opportunity to be close to your peers, to get face-to-face time with faculty members in the classroom. That way you're able to really make that connection. Additionally, outside of the classroom, you're still able to access them. You see them out and around campus, whether it's our 11 faculty fellows that actually live in our residence halls with their families and host events for students. Or maybe you're meeting with faculty members during their office hours, which they all host throughout the week. An opportunity to come in and ask questions about what's going on in class or maybe with their research. We really want you to pursue those opportunities to, again, build the community that we have here at WashU. We want to make sure that our students are able to find all the different areas they want and put them into one experience. And so our curriculum is built, no matter what division you're in, for that to happen. And what we see is our students taking advantage of it. About 79% of our students will have more than just one concentration, whether that is a second major, minor, or a pre-professional area of interest. It's wonderful to see that happen, and it's wonderful to see it happening from day one. During your first year on our campus, we have a number of programs that we are able to offer you that allow you to see the different opportunities for intersectionality amongst the different programs we have here at WashU. First and foremost, touched on it briefly earlier, is that Beyond Boundaries program. Students coming in and combining an interest in, let's say, engineering, architecture, and arts and sciences to work on sustainability projects. Things of that nature where you're really seeing the big picture. We also have some more distilled down programs, things like our Ampersand programs that are multi-semester courses that will have some type of research, study abroad, or fieldwork component added to them. Opportunities to learn from professors in different areas of the university. Things like medicine and society, where you're learning from faculty both from our medical school as well as our anthropology department on the connection and intersectionality between those two and how society treats healthcare around the globe. Discussion-based learning is such a critical part of being at WashU, and that can be an adjustment for many students. So we offer programs like our first-year seminars, 10 to 15-person courses that allow you to be amongst your peers, to ask questions, and to learn how to learn here at WashU. That was something that was really big for me personally. When I got here, I was a very shy 17-year-old, did not like speaking in front of other people. Doesn't necessarily make for a perfect admissions officer, but as I grew here on campus, I was able to take classes like my Saints in Society course my first year, where I was amongst my peers, I felt comfortable speaking out, and really saw a lot of growth in the classroom, which led to a lot of success later on in my 4 years on campus. Additionally, we want to make sure that our students understand that we as a community want to give back to the greater St. Louis area. So we see courses like Community Building, Building Community, offered through our architecture program, that allow our students to go out into St. Louis to learn about the history of the city from an architectural standpoint, but also to learn about the history of the city from a racial and social justice standpoint, which is extremely important to many of our students. In fact, we see civic engagement as one of the leading areas of interest for our student groups and student organizations. Our Gephardt Center for Civic Engagement is a wonderful jumping off point for our students in getting involved in the greater St. Louis area. We see them going and starting their own unique organizations, things like Books and Basketball, which may go to local elementary and middle schools to tutor students after school, but to also play outside and play basketball with them. Something that our students also really believe in is initiative when it comes to business. We are one of the leading schools in the country when it comes to entrepreneurship, and that comes through in the classroom, but also everywhere else on campus. We have 10 student-owned and operated businesses through our STEP program, the Student Entrepreneurship Program. These are places like Barry's Sweet Shop or Wash You Wash laundry service. These kind of everyday services that you'll actually use as an undergrad, but they're housed here on our South 40, where our first and second year residence halls are. Really cool opportunity to support other undergrads while also getting some candy every day. Now, if your business is knowledge creation, we are a wonderful place for you as well. We are a Tier 1 research institution, meaning that our faculty members are active researchers across all of our disciplines. We encourage our undergraduates to be involved in that research, whether it is by going directly to the source and communicating with faculty members via email or during their office hours that you'd love to pair with them on their research projects related to the Human Genome Project or Alzheimer's research at our medical school. We also have our Office of Undergraduate Research, which is a wonderful resource for our undergraduate students to help facilitate relationships with faculty members, to get funding to get your research off the ground, or also to find research opportunities here on campus and elsewhere across the globe. And I really do mean across the globe. We really encourage our students to be global citizens. And so we actually see over 40% of our undergrads who will study abroad during their time at WashU. We have over 100 different programs that go to over 50 countries. We have at least one program for every single major that we offer across all 5 divisions. So it doesn't matter what you're studying, you can study abroad, and you can do so for credit, because all of our programs are for WashU credit. Now, that could be something like going to a summer program in London for our engineering school, or maybe it's our art and architecture programs that go to Florence, Italy for a semester. However, you'll also be really interested in what's happening here on our campus. WashU is a place where our students are busy. There are over 400 different student groups that we offer here. So many different things to spend your time doing. We have a vibrant performing arts department featuring a number of different dance groups, theater performance opportunities, music opportunities, open to anyone. You don't need to be a music major to be in one of our 13 a cappella groups, including the Aristocats, which only sings Disney songs, so they're my personal favorite. We have a wide array of political, religious, cultural, identity, and affinity-based groups here on our campus, many of which are supported by our Center for Diversity and Inclusion, a wonderful place that offers support and funding for many groups and opportunities here on our campus to grow. We see a lot of that coming through in a number of our big cultural performances throughout the year. Things like Black Anthology, Carnival, Lunar New Year Festival are events that our entire campus looks forward to. We have a wonderful history when it comes to our athletics department as well. We are an NCAA Division III athletics program with 23 national championships under our belt. We are consistently ranked in the top 5 across all athletic performance in D3, while also consistently ranking in the top 10 across all NCAA divisions when it comes to academic All-Americans. As a former student athlete myself, it's something that I'm extremely proud of, the fact that we are truly student athletes here at WashU. If you're interested in being involved in athletics, but not quite at the varsity level, we have 40 different club sports and a wide range of intramural sports as well that nearly all of our students get involved in. So we're definitely a very active campus. What I love the most, though, about our WashU student groups is the unpredictability of them. You never quite know what you're going to get when you ask a student what they're involved in. They could say one of the numerous groups I've mentioned, or maybe WashU Racing, our race car team that's sponsored through our engineering school, but they also could say something totally off the wall. Something like Woo Churn, WashU's premier butter churning society. So if you're looking for a place where you really want to be yourself, which involves research, access to a city, and butter churning, welcome to WashU. But that's who we are. We are a place where you can truly be an individual and make all those different pursuits happen. Now, year after year, there's so many different things that our students look forward to. One of the biggest ones is our biannual concert series called WILD. It stands for Walk In, Lay Down, because originally in the 70s, our students would bring their couches from the residence halls into Brookings Quad for the concerts. Now, they don't let you do that anymore, but they do provide blow-up couches and some pretty good musical performances. Over the last few years, we've had artists like Childish Gambino, Chance the Rapper, and Carly Rae Jepsen come perform on campus. So it's something our students really look forward to, especially that Spring Wild, which is usually on the last day of class. We also have 13 Carnival, the oldest and largest student-run carnival in the country. 13 is this wonderful opportunity for our student groups to put on self-produced shows for the St. Louis community. There is a booth that will fry anything that you want, which is very dangerous for me. There's big carnival rides, and it's also hosted during our reunion weekend. So we see a lot of our alumni coming back to campus as well during that time. Just a wonderful, happy moment for so many people here at WashU. And I'd be remiss if I didn't focus on our alums for a little bit, because they play such a huge role in not only our day-to-day lives when it comes to fun events, but also when it comes to furthering the career prospects of so many of our undergraduate students. Our Career Center is a huge place that helps all of our students across the university, no matter what division they're interested in, really hone in on the different areas they may want to pursue post-grad. That could be just basic resume and cover letter writing. That could be one-on-one career advice. That could also be working with a peer mentor or even an alumni mentor. We host a number of different job and career fairs throughout the year that offer our students the ability to build their network, but we also want to make sure that we can take you places to help build your network. So we have a number of road shows throughout the year where, let's say, if you're interested in tech, we'll take you out to the Google offices in California to meet with our alumni that are currently working at Google. See how they got to their place of work and what you can do to better prepare yourself to follow in their footsteps. What that leads to is a lot of success. About 3/4 of our students will go directly into the workforce, and about 24-25% of them will go directly into graduate school after leaving WashU. What you're looking at right there is just a quick snapshot of where some of our students have gone on, but definitely not an exhaustive list of all the different companies that our students are looking towards. So how do you make this a reality for yourself? Well, in our admissions philosophy, we really want to integrate that name and story feel that we have here on our campus into your experience as you apply to WashU. We know that you're not just numbers and grades, you're a person who has different interests, different ways of thinking, and different things that you're involved in. We want to take our time to get to know who you are, not just what you can do in class. First thing I want to highlight, just a few numbers related to our last incoming class here. You notice that we had just over 25,000 applications for an incoming class of just over 1,700 students. You'll also notice our middle 50% on both the ACT and the SAT. These scores are super scored, so students are able to submit multiple scores, and we will pull out the highest subject scores to make a new composite score for you. So let's talk about all the individual parts of our application process. Here at WashU, there are 3 different ways to apply. We accept the Common application, the Coalition application, as well as the QuestBridge application. We are a QuestBridge partner school and are involved in the QuestBridge Match program, so you can apply through QuestBridge as well. We have a number of different rounds of application with a couple different deadlines that we're going to go through right now. We have our Early Decision 1 and Early Decision 2 rounds, which are binding, which means that you are agreeing to come to WashU if you are admitted. You'll get a letter from us and you'll get a t-shirt. Early Decision 1 applicants should apply by November 1st, and you'll hear back by mid-December. Early Decision 2 applicants will apply by January 2nd and hear back in mid-February, while regular decision applicants will also apply by January 2nd and hear back by April 1st. Participants in the QuestBridge National Match process should apply by November 1st and will hear back later on in the fall. No matter what round you're applying in, we want to make sure that you have a very similar process because we're looking for the same student no matter if you're applying ED1 or regular decision. The parts of the application that we find most important are laid out right here in front of you. First and foremost is your transcript. We want to look at all 4 years, all the classes that you have decided to take, and how you've done. We look at you in the context of your school, which means that we know what a rigorous course load looks like for a student at your high school, wherever that may be, and that is how we're going to judge your application. We're definitely going to focus on your junior and senior year to make sure that you continue challenging yourself all the way through graduation. For students that may be interested in programs in the STEM fields, things like engineering and our pre-med programs, we may take a little bit more of a look at your math and science coursework. For students interested in business, math coursework will definitely come to the forefront. Second part of your application will be your test scores. Now, for students applying in the fall of 2020, we are a test optional university. What that means is that you have the ability to decide whether or not you want to submit test scores as part of your application. You are still, of course, eligible for admission without test scores. You will also be eligible for merit-based scholarships without test scores. And I will speak on that in just a minute. But we want to make sure that we meet students where they are. If you haven't had the ability to take tests or you feel like you aren't comfortable with your scores the way they are, that is totally okay in our process. If you do wish to submit scores, we will take either the ACT or the SAT with no preference between the two. We do not require the ACT or SAT writing. We also do not require any SAT subject tests. Those are completely optional. We will also take self-reported scores, so you can feel free to report your scores on your application or later on in your WashU pathway, which is your application portal that you'll receive access to after applying to WashU. Third part of your application will be your letters of recommendation. We only need 2, one from a counselor and one from a teacher. If you would like to send in an additional letter, you can feel free to do so. That could be from another teacher, boss, mentor, coach, faith leader, really anybody that you feel is going to add something to your background. Again, we want to get to know the full picture of who you are. So if there's somebody out there that can really speak to who that is, we'd love to hear from them. The next part will be your extracurriculars. Anything you're involved with outside of eating, sleeping, or going to class. Unless you're in some type of eating or sleeping club, because that's awesome, and I'd love to hear more about it. WashU students are involved in a lot of different things, but the key is that they are involved. And that's what we're looking for out of our applicants. We aren't looking for any specific clubs or organizations or any specific number of them. Whether it is student government, sports, a job, taking care of your grandmother or your little sister, whatever you're involved with, we want to learn more about. So please share all of that with us. The last required piece of your application are your essays. There are 2 that we look for. The first will be a general essay that comes through your Common, Coalition, or QuestBridge application, which is more of a personal statement. The next will be a supplemental essay. Our supplemental essay question will ask you to speak a little bit more about your intended area of study, what got you excited about that, and where you see yourself pursuing it in the future. The key to remember with your essays is that it's a wonderful opportunity for us to hear who you are in your own voice. There's so many parts of this application that are truly standardized. They're literally called standardized tests. However, these pieces that are unique to you, your personality, your goals, your friends, your family, they are the opportunities for us to get to see a little bit more of who you are. So we really encourage you to take that time in your essays, in your letters of recommendation, and in your extracurriculars to let us see that full picture of you that will allow us to really advocate for you as we move through this process. There are some additional pieces of the application that could be involved as well. For our art students, we do have a portfolio requirement. For our students applying to our College of Architecture, that portfolio is recommended but not required. We also offer optional interviews. These are opportunities to meet with admissions officers or current students, alumni, to just sit down and have a talk about who you are, what you're interested in, what you're looking for in a college. Very low-key opportunities for us to learn more about you. The last piece of your application could be a 90-second video. So this is totally optional, brand new this year, but we're really excited to see what our students come up with. There's no expectations, no requirements, just another opportunity for us to get to see a little bit more of who you are. So have fun with it, show us your pets, show us a little bit more about your background. I know of students that have already sent in videos of them dancing or maybe playing sports. It's up to you. Again, our goal here is to learn more about who you are and to individualize this process as much as we can for you. And that's not just in the admissions process. That's something that we want to take care of as we move into the financial aid and merit scholarship process as well. We here at WashU really believe in, again, that personalization and individualization of the financial aid application process. We are committed to hitting 100% of demonstrated financial need for all of our admitted students. Additionally, any students coming from families who make $75,000 or less per year will have no loans added to their financial aid packages. Our financial aid office's motto is quite literally, make a friend in SFS. And they truly mean that. A, because they're nice people, but B, because they know that there's so many things that go into this process that are so different from family to family. There are 2 forms that we need as you apply for financial aid. The first is the Federal Application for Federal Student Aid, or the FAFSA. Second is the CSS College Profile. But we know there's things that need to be explained person to person that maybe can't quite be put down on a sheet of paper, and that's okay. We encourage our students as they're going through the application process to reach out to our Office of Student Financial Services, connect via phone or email, set up some time to speak with one of our representatives to help you as you move along through this process. Whether that's learning to use our estimated cost calculators on our website, or it's just helping to understand how to fill out the forms, we want to be there for you as you apply and move through this process. At the end of the day, our goal is to make sure that finance is not a barrier to coming to WashU. In addition to need-based financial aid, we also offer merit-based scholarships. Now, there are 2 different types of scholarships here at WashU. First of all, we have our division-specific scholarships. These are exactly what they sound like. Scholarships that are based off of the academic division that you are applying to here at the university. There's nothing additional that you need to do for them. You are automatically considered for them when you apply to WashU. On the opposite side, we have our Signature Scholars programs, the Irvin, Danforth, and Rodriguez scholarships. These are cohort-based, community-focused programs that are open to all students. They do require a separate application that is due by January 2nd. In order to apply for these scholarships, you must first apply to WashU. Once you do so, you'll get access to that WashU pathway that I mentioned earlier. You do want to make sure that you give yourself a little bit of time between when you submit your application and that merit scholarship application deadline, because those scholarship applications may require short answer questions or essays, and you always want to make sure that you put your best foot forward. No matter what scholarship program you may be looking at, if it's a divisional scholarship or a signature scholarship program, they will all feature a range of full and partial tuition scholarships within them. Their sizes may differ from program to program, but you can be rest assured that full tuition opportunities are there for our applying students. We appreciate you spending a little bit of your time here with us today to learn about Washington University in St. Louis. If you ever have any more questions, please feel free to reach out to our office directly. Whether it's by email or by phone, we are more than happy to help you. One last parting note, If you learn anything about WashU today, I want to make sure it's that we are a community first that cares about our students and wants to see the individual grow into a better person by the time you leave here, or by the time you stay here for another 7 years. Either way, thank you once again, and have a great rest of your day.